Once I saw University of Salford actually offered law with criminology, and not many universities offer that course, so as soon as I saw that I thought, right, it's got to be this uni.
I was really interested in what modules the different universities offered. That was one of the main things that I noticed between different universities, was the different modules that you were able to choose from kind of later on into the course.
Salford drew me in because of mainly the Media City campus, but also the experience the lecturers have, whether it was being in Hollywood or making their own films that they've produced and directed, and their just experience and knowledge that we can steal from them effectively.
Of all the unis I applied for, it was actually the only university that I came to for open day.
Before I came to actually visit the university, I was convinced, like 100%, that I was going to a different university. And then all of the open days that I went to afterwards, my mind just kept coming back to Salford.
It was the first one I had scheduled and I enjoyed it so much. A student that I had never met before actually took me to have dinner and then showed me around, and then the teachers were so nice to me. And once I got home I decided, all right, it's got to be this university. I don't want to go see any other universities now.
I didn't really know much about Salford back then. It was just, that's Coronation Street, isn't it? So speaking with Sophie, who was at the event, and she was finding stuff out about me and we were exchanging questions, she said, yeah, I think Salford's for you. So that's when I booked an open day, came up for the day and had a look around and was like, yeah, I want to go to Salford.
I kind of split it into sections and did bullet points to begin with.
I wrote how I used to watch The Bill when I was younger, and I saw a barrister for the first time, and that's when I decided I wanted to study law, by watching The Bill growing up.
Things outside of school show what kind of person you are and like what you're going to bring to the university if you're a student there. So I think it's really important to include like volunteering, extracurricular stuff.
I mentioned things like my hobbies, that I like to play guitar, I like to write music.
And if you know someone who actually is a university lecturer, ask them, like, what do you think of this? Is this any good?
When I first got here, I had no idea like what I should be spending on what, and I think that's part of the experience. Like the first couple of weeks, you definitely spend way too much money and then have to make up for it in like the coming months.
Definitely like getting a habit of budgeting and sticking to it as much as you can. If you don't, it doesn't matter, because if you've tried the previous week, it balances out.
Knowing kind of how much money you're able to play with a week, shopping at different supermarkets and meal planning, so you're not wasting money on food.
When your student loan drops, don't go and treat yourself to a new pair of expensive shoes or expensive laptop, because think that money needs to be there for the next 3 months.
It was a big step for me. I lived like 4 hours away, very southern. I was like the mystery person that like arrived on the last day of freshers. And so I was super nervous about like making friends and stuff like that, but everyone's in the same boat. I feel like people forget that, you know, most people, it's their first time moving away from home, living with people other than their parents and their siblings.
I didn't know any of my flatmates before I moved in, but then I was the second one to move into the flat, and me and the other one, we just hit it off.
We had an open door policy on our floor really, which was basically like people from the flat across would like come over, and we had like meals together and stuff like that. So it's just like putting yourself out there, even if you're absolutely petrified. Like that's the way to make friends.
I found everyone at Salford's quite friendly anyway, I won't lie. I sat by myself when some other people were like, oh, are your friends not here? Like, do you want to sit with us today? Which I thought was really welcoming.
I was actually in the student union on like the first week, and that's when I met quite a few of my friends who I'm still friends with now.
It was great. It was nice because there's like the communal areas, you know, where you can get together with everyone in your flat, and that's really good for socialising, but it's lovely to have like your own space as well, and you can just shut the door and get on with your work or have a nap.
You get your large bedroom, which whether you go for the bronze one or the diamond one, they're all quite big. You get your ensuite bathrooms, but there's also like the gym, and they do cinema nights, and they do loads of on-site events. So like you get hot dogs on a Thursday, hot chocolates in the winter. They're there to make your uni life and the transition from living with parents to living alone a bit easier.
Getting into city centre is very easy. I know a lot of students that just like to walk, because if you think about it, it's just one big road. But also you can get a train, it's one stop, you've got the cinema, you've got all the shops. You can also get the 100 bus to Trafford Centre as well. And we've got a town centre here as well. It's not city centre, but it's quite nice. It has all the shops that you need. There's everything, really.
I think my biggest tip would be do your research and be open to anything, because I was convinced I was going to go to another university. Salford wasn't even on my radar, and now here I am having like the best year and a half I've ever had.
My biggest tip would be take every opportunity that you possibly can, even if it's not related to your course.
Actually, my number one tip for anyone moving into student accommodation, this has just come to me, is to bring a doorstop, because that is the best way to meet people, I think, in your accommodation, is leave your bedroom door open.
You just got to literally put yourself out there, like challenge yourself, like not just academically, but you know, you might find things that you like.
So I think my biggest tip is to push yourself and go out of your comfort zone at some point. I'm not saying do something you hate because you want to make friends, but if you don't enjoy clubbing, go at least once.
Believe in yourself, don't give up. If it gets too hard, it's fine. There's always going to be someone there for you, whether it's a student, someone who works with uni, the wellbeing team, your lecturer.
My time at Salford has been amazing, whether it was from the experience I've gained, whether it's through the actual lessons or through independent work.
Salford might not be a university that your teachers are telling you about, but it doesn't mean that it's any less amazing. In fact, I think it's just a bit of a hidden gem, really.